To this, Congress gets back to work today after the August recess. President Trump's policies are under heavy scrutiny this morning, the latest being the upheaval at the CDC and vaccine recommendations.
The president is demanding that pharmaceutical companies justify the success of their COVID-19 drugs after the heads of various agencies slammed the president's Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert Kennedy Jr.
He is expected to testify before Congress later this week, and NBC's Alice Barr has the latest from D.C. for us.
With cold and flu season bearing down and COVID cases rising, a shakeup in leadership at the CDC, and new restrictive guidelines drawing confusion about who can get the COVID vaccine. President Trump now weighing in, urging companies to justify the success of their various COVID drugs to, quote, clear up this mess one way or the other, appearing to call into question the effectiveness of the vaccines initially developed during his first term in a fast-track process he's long praised.
Operation Warp Speed, people say, is one of the greatest achievements ever.
That as 9 former heads of the CDC slammed Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in a New York Times op-ed, saying he's, quote, endangering every American's health, and sharply criticizing his firing of CDC Director Dr. Susan Menares, who they say refused to, quote, rubber stamp dangerous and unfounded vaccine recommendations. 4 other top CDC leaders resigned in protest over the firing, one speaking out on NBC's Meet the Press.
There is now an irresistible force that is going to make it impossible for CDC to maintain the validity of its science against ideology.
Lawmakers back in Washington today preparing to press RFK Jr. for answers in a hearing Thursday.
This is contrary to what the secretary said he was going to do, which was follow basic science.
I don't see him ignoring the science. I see him asking the hard questions.
A high-stakes battle raising serious questions for the nation's public health. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
With the new COVID vaccine guidelines narrowing approvals to only seniors and younger people with high-risk conditions, CVS is requiring a prescription in 13 states and also D.C. and not even administering the shots at all in 3 states for now. Those don't include, though, Idaho and Oregon.
They'll still provide that vaccine, as we mentioned, here in Idaho. Walgreens only says it's prepared to offer the vaccine in states, quote, where we are able to do so, end quote.